Hi, BZen bosses. Welcome to BZen TV. Our guest tonight is best-selling author, speaker, and high vibe honey, Gala Darling. Gala has helped millions of women around the world tap into the biggest, baddest versions of themselves. And her transformative work has been featured in just about every major media outlet, including Vogue, the New York Times, ABC News, and Cosmopolitan magazine. She's even been endorsed by the Queen herself. Yes, I'm talking about Oprah. Gala's on the show tonight to teach us how to perform EFT tapping, a technique she calls an instantly effective tool for crushing limiting beliefs, implanting newer, more powerful ones, and transforming into the person you've always wanted to be. Gala, thank you so much for joining us on BZen TV to talk about how we can be high vibe honeys. I'm so excited you're here.
I am so excited too. I'm really thrilled to bring the concept of being a high vibe honey to Dallas, because I think you can appreciate this. Women in Dallas are powerful, they're loud, they're big, they're out there, and we can all use more of that. I think that's so exciting.
100%. And your outfit, by the way, is amazing. So beautiful, so fun, such a high vibe, you know?
Thank you.
Loving it. So Gala, what does it mean to be a high vibe honey? And tell us a little bit about your program and what your mission is.
Completely. So I wrote a book in 2016 called Radical Self-Love, which is really a guidebook to learning how to love yourself so that you can live your dreams. Because we all have dreams. We all have things that we want to do, places we want to go, experiences we want to have. But if we don't feel worthy of our dreams, if we don't feel like we can get there, if we're struggling because maybe we haven't seen people who look like us do what we want to do, then we really feel held back. And when I was 23 years old, I discovered this technique called tapping, which is also known as emotional freedom technique. And you kind of go like this, you tap on your face, and it's basically acupuncture without needles. And when I discovered this technique, I had a terrible eating disorder. I was really depressed. I was in a really bad place. And when I started using this technique, I realized how beautiful the world was, and that loving myself was the most important thing I could do, that it really laid the foundation for everything beautiful in my life to flourish. And I think when women are unhappy or they don't feel good in themselves, they kind of think it might be like that forever. They feel like it might be a life sentence and they can't see a way out of it. But when I discovered this technique, I realized that anybody can feel better. And I just feel when you discover something that works for you, especially something that's free, then it's your responsibility to share that with people. You need to tell people what's worked for you. And obviously nobody has to do it, but I feel I would be selfish if I didn't tell people about this technique, because it's so drastically changed my life. So to be a high vibe honey is to see the beauty in life, to feel enthusiastic, to get your joie de vivre back, and to just approach the world with a sense of gratitude and beauty and wonder.
Yes, amen. That is everything. And I was trying not to cry while you were talking about your book, because I've been a huge fan, which I shared with you, since I was in college. I mean, my roommate Annie and I would read your blog like we were just obsessed. So to have you here is such a big moment. You helped me work on my self-love and get to the point where I could even believe that I could have a TV show or do anything like that. So your message and mission, that's why I had to bring it to the show to share with everybody, because it really works and it really can change your perspective on yourself and then what you're capable of and the energy that you have now to give to your dreams. So if we want to start EFT tapping, can you kind of walk us through it and explain a little bit more about the meridians and how it really works?
Absolutely. So EFT tapping is, I always just call it acupuncture without needles, because you're using the same meridian system as you use in acupuncture. It's Chinese medicine. So the points are really the same. And the theory with tapping is that any sadness or fear or limiting beliefs are a result of stuck energy within the body. So when we are tapping on these points, just like you could put a needle in with acupuncture, when you tap these points, it's you're freeing up the energy flow. You're unblocking your energy system. And as you're talking about what you feel is limiting you or where you feel small or stuck, you're just allowing these new beliefs to take root. So the coolest thing about tapping, you know, like affirmations were really big for a long time. And affirmations is saying like, I'm beautiful, I'm beautiful, I'm beautiful over and over. But to me, that feels like outdated technology because you're saying, I'm beautiful, I'm beautiful, I'm beautiful. But your conscious mind is saying, no, you're not. You're not beautiful. Like, what about this?
It doesn't soak in. Yeah. Like you can't really get it into your belief system.
Exactly. You feel so much internal resistance to it. So you'd have to say it so many times for it to really start to sink in. So with tapping, you're bypassing your conscious mind with all this tapping. It's like you're just going deep into your subconscious. And so you can remove these old beliefs and put new ones in. And it's so effective. Like, you've tapped before, you know, like it changes things so quickly. And that's why it's so exciting to me. Like, you can change a belief, a pattern, a habit overnight.
The other day I was having some resistance and I think it was like a confidence thing. So I went on your YouTube channel, I did a tapping, and then right after that, I sent the text that I was avoiding sending. And I was like, okay, it really does do something to like your energy and how much, like, for me, it's motivation. Like it just gives me that little plug that I needed to like move forward, to do what I need to do.
Yes,
it works.
It's so stimulating. Like every time I tap, I feel awake. I feel excited. I feel like I've been like plugged back into my source of energy. And that's what I really like about it. Like, I don't love meditation personally. I don't really want to be more relaxed. Like, I want to be more
It's not for everyone. Yeah. It's not for everyone. And you're like,
right. And so I love that I can plug into something that like stimulates my energy. Like that feels really good to me.
Yeah. And I think especially right now, like it's spring, things are starting to change again. A lot of people, depending on where you live, are starting to be able to do more things, but it's like we have to let go of some of that stuck energy, some of that fear energy, and get back plugged in, I feel like, to what we want in our lives and who we are and our power and feel good again. So I love EFT for that. And I would just be honored if you would take us through like an EFT, maybe tapping session or whatever you think we need right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So, okay, when we talk about confidence, let's make this for you. So we'll create something for you, and then everybody else can benefit. So
awesome.
How is it that you are feeling right now, and how would you like to feel? Where do you want to move from towards?
I feel confident, but I also second guess myself a lot and question. I overthink because I question whether or not things are going to work out. And if I really have like certain skills to make things happen, and then I'll slow down and think and I won't do what I need to do.
Right. So your overthinking stops you from taking the action that you really want to take.
Analysis paralysis, typical Virgo vibe. I go right in there.
So I completely understand what you're talking about.
Okay. All right. You know.
It's so true. Like if you get in your head, you're dead. So you have to be able to like get through it. And that's one of the reasons why I love tapping. So let me tell everybody how we're going to do this for you at home. It's so easy and you might feel silly doing it, but even if you feel silly, it's like 5 minutes out of your life. And if you feel silly, then you feel something like, who cares, right?
Try it. Yeah. Spice it up.
So what we're going to do with tapping is we're going to use our hands to tap on these points. And this is the sequence, but don't worry if you forget one because Brittany and I are going to do it and you can tap along with us. So the first point is the top of the head like this. You're just going to alternate your fingers like that. And then the start of the eyebrow, your temples, under your eyes. Now you're going to switch just to one hand. Under your nose, under your mouth, where that like line of your chin is, your collarbone, under your armpit where your bra would go around. And then your two wrists together is your final point. And we're just going to tap around like that. And you're just going to repeat what I say. And we'll make this a brief one, but even just doing this, you should feel a shift. And those of you watching, you might think like, I don't second guess myself. Like that's not a problem that I have. The coolest thing about tapping is I think of it as like taking a broom to your subconscious mind. There are blockages that we have that we are not even aware of. So you might find that you tap on this and you feel something shift, even though you didn't totally resonate with the words that we were saying. So my suggestion is just that you give it a shot, give it a try, and see how it feels. So let's start on the top of the head. And Brittany, you're just going to repeat after me.
All right.
You ready?
Ready.
All right. I am a pretty confident person.
I'm a pretty confident person.
And I've come a long way.
And I've come a long way.
I used to be so much more afraid of life.
I used to be so much more afraid of life.
And look at me now.
And look at me now.
I'm really proud of where I am.
I'm really proud of where I am.
And it took a long time to get here.
And it took a long time to get here.
But even though I'm proud of where I am, I have so much more to do.
I have so much more to do.
And sometimes that feels exciting.
And sometimes that feels exciting.
But sometimes it feels overwhelming. And I start to overthink everything. I second guess myself. And instead of acting on instinct, I just ruminate for hours. And I get stuck in this spiral. Of thinking about what could go wrong. And basically freaking myself out. Which really doesn't feel good. And I know that this behavior is not helping me get to where I want to go. But I just can't stop it. Maybe I'm trying to protect myself. Maybe the fear of failure is overwhelming. But even though it feels overwhelming, I deeply and completely love and accept and forgive myself. I can feel fear and still love myself. I can feel overwhelmed and still accept myself. I can want more and still forgive myself for any self-sabotage I'm doing. I'm just trying to keep myself safe. And that is totally normal. But I would like to do it a new way. Maybe taking the risk would actually be safe. Because it's stepping me into the life I want. Maybe that would feel so much better. Than being stuck where I am. And overthinking. And not feeling good about myself. So even though I have been in analysis paralysis, I completely accept myself. And I know that I can do things a different way. I can start to feel certain of my choices. I can start to feel like a risk is safe. Because I still will think things through. Not going to be dumb or impulsive. But I'm also not going to stay stuck. It is safe for me to step forward. It is safe for me to live the life of my dreams.
It is safe for me to live the life of my dreams.
And to step into it joyfully. Okay. Take a deep breath in and hold it at the top and let it go whenever it feels good. How's that feeling?
Amazing. I'm sure everybody at home is feeling it too. Like, it just feels so good to get that out. I think it is it's a stuck feeling. You can even feel how light, like I just feel lighter. I feel light and open now and calm.
Yes.
That was wonderful. Thank you. Oh my gosh.
You're so welcome. And you know, what I really love about tapping is that we're not just in denial where we're just saying what we want and ignoring the problem. With tapping, we are acknowledging what's going on so that we can face it. And if you think of, you know, your beliefs as like your negative beliefs as like weeds in a garden, you could ignore the weeds and let your garden get choked to death, or you can pull those weeds out and let your garden flourish. And that's really what we're doing. We're facing it, we're removing it from your subconscious, and then you're giving yourself room to dream and take risks and do new things, which is almost impossible when you feel like you're being held down by your negative beliefs, your limiting beliefs, your smallness.
100%. And I love how you talk about, like, on your YouTube channel, and I'm sure in the Vortex, just how, and the High Vibe Honey program, just how much our stories, like for me, it's the analysis paralysis and confidence thing. But for someone else, you know, we all have our things like that we might be aware of. Maybe we're not aware of them, but I feel like it's those stories that you talk about that really do make a difference. Like, rewriting that story can set you on a new path. Will you talk a little bit more about, you know, becoming aware of the story and realizing our greatness and what we've been kind of holding ourselves back from?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the stories that we tell ourselves all day is just really that inner voice that runs all the time. The voice that might say, like, you're too fat to wear that, or nobody will ever marry you, or, you know, you'll never make more than $100,000 a year, or whatever that story is. And you can think of your story as like the programming language on a computer. It runs all the time. And so what happens with our beliefs is they are ground zero for our life. Because your beliefs create your thoughts, and your thoughts then inspire actions, and then your actions create results in your life. So sometimes when we want to change something, we kind of start at the end. We look at the result and we're like, how do I change this result? But you really have to reverse engineer it and look at the beliefs that are underpinning your life. And that can be quite uncomfortable sometimes to understand, like, what is this belief that I have running? But when we start to pay attention to it and we notice it, that's the first step of having power back over our lives. When we say, like, hey, I hear you saying that and I want to change it. I don't want to subscribe to this anymore. I want to unsubscribe from this.
Unsubscribe. Done. Yeah.
I want to unsubscribe from this mailing list because I never signed up in the first place. And so we have the power to do that. And that's one of the great things about tapping is it's just this ability to immediately unplug from something that's not serving us anymore. And, you know, when you have beliefs that lift you up, like one of my beliefs that I programmed in about 3 years ago was the more fun I have, the more money I make. And this belief has completely changed my life because what happens is your subconscious mind will never make you a liar. So whatever you are telling yourself all day long, your brain goes looking for evidence of that. So whatever program it is that you're running, like men don't find me beautiful, or like I'm not smart, your reticular activating system, which is in your brain, is looking for the proof of it. Wow. So you start to feel like that's real. Like your reticular activating system is the part of you that if you decide you want to buy, say, a white Audi, and all of a sudden you see it everywhere.
Okay,
experience. And the reason that happens is because your brain is basically being told by you, this thing is important, let's look for it. So that's what happens with our belief system too. We have these beliefs and then our brain is instructed, like, this thing's important, look for evidence of it wherever you go. And so your thoughts literally create your reality. because good things are happening all the time and shitty things are happening all the time. And it's really up to you as to what you're focusing on. And what you focus on is influenced by your beliefs.
Amen. Amen. And it really does, like, kind of, I don't know, when you think of things like this, it's like your awareness really expands and you're like, okay, I do have so much more power and control over my life and my happiness than I even thought possible. And I think becoming aware of that is like the first step. And then doing things like finding the resources, which is why I wanted to have you on the show, because you actually have a ton of resources that you offer, both free, like on YouTube and on your website and blog, and then also like programs that people can join in to really get their high vibes going. Can you tell us about that? Tell us about your programs, all the things that people can participate in.
Yes, absolutely. So I think the first port of call is my YouTube. I have hundreds of free tapping videos there. And so
good.
Like, I don't know what this is. I don't know if I believe this. You can really test it out for yourself. And I'm so passionate about getting this tool out to as many people as possible, which is why I've made so much free content about it. But I also have a few programs. So if you want to be guided through something, if you really want someone to hold your hand and help you transform, then I have those as well. So I have the Vortex, which is a yearly program, just like a Netflix of high vibe content. It's really beautiful. It opens in August, so it's not open right now. So there's that one.
Okay.
We have High Vibe Honey, which is every Sunday at 10 a.m. Pacific, we tap together on Zoom. And this is like healing in community. And the subject is different every week. Sometimes it's about attracting more friends. Sometimes it's about healing physical pain. Sometimes it's just about feeling powerful and confident and capable. And, you know, you'll be on a Zoom screen with like 400 other women, and we're all tapping together. And you really feel the energy get raised when you do this. It's pretty incredible. And my new program is called Cash Money Honey, and it is all financial tapping. So it's all those beliefs we have, like, I have to work really hard to have plenty of money, or I have to work a 9 to 5, or I spend my money as soon as I earn it, or it's not safe to have money, right? Like, people might ask me for money and I don't know how to say no to them, or I don't know how to deal with taxes. All of those beliefs that we have. So I had a money manifesting course a couple of years ago. I've had 20,000 women go through this class.
Oh my gosh.
Basically what happens is it's 2 weeks long. And at the start of the class, you say, here's how much money I want to manifest. And I had women would manifest, like, at first it was like $1,000 and it was 10,000. Then someone emailed me that she'd made $100,000. I was like, okay, that's
all right.
And
amazing.
Then I had a woman manifest $1 million, and that is yet topped, but maybe I don't know. But what I realized was people were coming back to this class over and over every time they wanted to manifest more money. And it was happy to be of service to them. But I also thought, this is an area where we need more support, because it's one thing to make it. It's another to be able to hold on to it, to feel good saving it, to know what to do with it, to know how to raise your prices and feel comfortable. So that's what this is. It's all tapping around changing your abundance consciousness. And it is so much fun. We just opened it this week, and it's just going off. I'm getting the craziest messages from people about it. And it's just so much fun.
That's amazing. And is this another program that's like, is it something that's like live, or like people can participate, or is it like something they can read online? Can you tell us a little more about it?
So this is a yearly membership. So every month we have a live tapping session where we talk to each other, and I do some mentoring, and we do some tapping on money stuff. And then every month you're getting new tapping sessions in the membership every month. So the first month there was a tapping on asking for more money and feeling comfortable. And the other
one's tough. Like, I'm joining this. I'm joining today.
Seriously, like raising the rates and standing firm in the value of what you provide can be really hard. I think especially for women, we really can struggle with that. So that was one of the first ones I made. And the other was on forgiving yourself for not having made more money in the past. Wow. Because I think a lot of us look around at other people in our industry and we think, she's doing so much better than me. Why do I not have her life? And I should have provided more for my children. And we carry this like guilt and shame and embarrassment around.
Totally.
And as long as we're carrying that, it really it suffocates our energy. We don't have the freedom, the creativity to think of new ideas and get excited about what we're doing.
Right.
So it's designed to free up all of that stuff. And the results from people have been incredible, incredible.
That's amazing. Yeah, I just feel like all of us have been in that state where we know what it feels like, but we don't know how to get out of the state. So it's really exciting that there's something out there. And I'm not kidding. I'm going to join it. Like, I think I'm not embarrassed to say that's another area where I actively want to work on it. I want to feel empowered. So for everybody watching who feels like they're resonating, like, don't be embarrassed. Like, we love you. This is all for our growth. We're growing together. It's a great thing. So Gala, before you go, I would love to get a little behind the scenes, because you are a high vibe honey. You're a boss babe. You're making money, but you're also in your feminine and in your masculine energy. What are some of your habits? Like, how do you keep yourself high vibe when you're giving so much and doing so many things on a daily basis?
Such a good question. So I moved to Orange County in California. I was in Los Angeles.
Oh my gosh. Awesome.
And I'm sitting in front of my window right now, and the ocean literally crashes in front of my balcony here. So that is
gorgeous.
So important for me. So I have a practice of going outside in the morning and just putting my feet in the sand and grounding my energy. And I like to go out there and kind of cultivate that creative juiciness before I come inside and start executing on things. So for me, that helps me balance my energies, my masculine, feminine. I work out every day, or as much as I can. That's really important for me to push my physical body. It gives me more energy, more strength. It's good for my immunity. And, you know, really having an active gratitude practice. And, you know, I've been tapping and doing a gratitude practice for 15 years. And after a while, it really starts to become a habit where you really just do look for the good in every situation. And there's so many studies that show that optimists live longer, we're healthier, you know, our immune systems are stronger. And so it's actually really good for your health to cultivate practices like this. So I would say those are my 3 non-negotiable things for the day, for sure.
I love it. I love it. That's so inspiring. That inspires me, and hopefully you guys too, to find those things that light you up, whatever it is for you, you know, find that way to connect with yourself every day. I love that advice. It's so good. Gala, thank you so much for joining us. It has been a pleasure to talk to you, and I can't wait to join the money program. I'm already in the high vibe honey, so I'm just going to keep manifesting. I'm going to keep tapping. So excited that you were here to share this with us. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.